Tuesday, July 23rd. Welcome to the Damon Brew Show, brought to you by Aiyuk Sandwiches. And we just start right with the breaking news. Brandon Aiyuk is reporting to 49ers training camp. Ian Rappaport, Mike Garofalo of NFL Network say that in spite of his desire for a new deal, Brandon Aiyuk is reporting. Now, will he be out on the field? Is this a hold in rather than a hold out? Does it bring both sides back to the negotiating table? Does it represent progress, or is this just a man who doesn't want to be fined? We don't know. We'll know more before the end of the day. We'll certainly know more when the team actually hits the field on Wednesday. That's when they're going to start getting out there. I do know this. Being on premises makes things happen. Being on premises is really good when it comes to reconciling differences and meeting in the middle and negotiating. And this can't hurt. I don't know if this is progress, but it ain't bad. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go all the way out on the limb and tell you this is good news, 49ers fans. Brandon Aiyuk has reported. We will see what happens. We'll see how much he actually participates. But this is good news. Brandon Aiyuk will be in Santa Clara, and so will yours truly on Wednesday. Training camp is officially opened. Huzzah and cheers to all of you. By the way, little sip of the day right off the rip. That was fantastic. Hold on, I'm going to go back for another. That was perfect. Yeah. So, look, man, I don't cover talking, and I really don't cover practice, but I'm going down to have a look at training camp. I won't be there every day, but I do like to go down and just put my eyes on the team for a little while since, I can. So I will be doing that tomorrow, which means our 11 o'clock show will come to you a little bit later on in the afternoon when we file a report right from down in Santa Clara at training camp, letting you know what I saw. What impressions, who stood out, just day one stuff. We'll have that for you tomorrow from training camp. I'm really looking forward to going down there. Actually, that's not the truth at all. I have to go down there. I think it's good for the channel. I think it's good for my understanding of the team, but I absolutely despise having to drive to Santa Clara. So, but I will begrudgingly do so, and we will be sharing content all gosh darn day long. Again, I ain't here to cover practice. I cover football games. But I will be going to training camp, and Shanahan and John Lynch will be talking to the media today. I know that they'll be chatting more with the media tomorrow, but today is the big gathering. Hey, how are you, everybody? Football season officially begins, and that is good. Good news, good for business. God, I saw a chart today where just, every single one of the top TV shows and the top 100 rated TV shows is basically an NFL game, a college football game, Caitlin Clark. I mean, sports is television and television is sports. It's the only thing that's really driving linear television these days. Like the debate was highly rated. State of the Union was highly rated. Some show that came on after the Super Bowl was highly rated. At the very bottom of the top, 50, 100 list, there were a few episodes of Young Sheldon. I mean, I don't know who watches that, but apparently Young Sheldon came in the top 50 rated programs in the first couple quarters here of 2024, but everything, it's a football game. Football is basically the single most important element of American life right now. It drives all entertainment. We just saw John Skipper, who ran ESPN forever and then left ESPN under the guise of a little scandal to go be the guy in charge of Meadowlark, which does Dan Le Batard's show. He was always a big Dan Le Batard guy, so when Le Batard's brand officially established itself as its own media entity, John Skipper became a big part of it, and they're having smashing success with really good content and programming. And John Skipper knows what good content and programming is. All those years on ESPN, he, was the genesis of so much of it. And he basically said there is nothing more important in all of broadcasting, like all the entertainment business, Then sports, live sporting events right now. Look at what the NBA has just signed its new deal for. The NFL is very much desirous of an 18th game. One more game means several billion more dollars. It's a way to cut up another package to sell to another streaming service. Again, this has got to be making linear television a little nervous because without football, people are just watching those episodes of Young Sheldon on linear television. They really, you can't live without your lifeblood. And right now, television's lifeblood is the NFL. It is football, no doubt about it. Training camp is open. Brandon Aiyuk is there. And if that doesn't bring a smile to your face on this Tuesday, I don't know what more could, 49er fans. How about this? How about delicious sandwiches from Aiyuk's? That'll put a smile on your face. When you're thinking about lunch, I want you to get to Aiyuk's brand new location, Mission Rock location in the Visa building down by 24 Willie Mays Plaza. The Giants are out of town down in LA taking on the Dodgers, so it's not like there's a lot of congested traffic around the ballpark, which means it's a great day to go visit Aiyuk in his new location, his 100th location. It's got cheeseburgers. I didn't know Aiyuk did a cheeseburger. They're doing cheeseburgers at Mission Rock. I had one, I think it was called the Centerfold. It had jalapeno poppers on it. It was everything you love about an Aiyuk's sandwich on a cheeseburger. It was awesome. It was awesome. If you wanted to get out of the sandwich business and just get into the cheeseburger business, there would be cheeseburger places very threatened by that. It was delicious. Everything at Aiyuk's is delicious. Don't take my word for it. Find out for yourself. Download that app, whether you're getting it delivered or ordering, picking it up somewhere. Order on the app and start earning your way towards free sandwiches. And I don't mean the app that is DoorDash or Uber Eats. I mean, have the Aiyuk's app downloaded on your phone, Aiyuk's Rewards, and start earning your way towards free sandwiches. And if you are watching this show, if you are in the Bay Area, you have already earned your invite to the Dubliner West Portal on Sunday, Plus Mania 4. The musical. Starting at 2 o'clock. Really looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully you can make it out. It has been, we've done 3 Plus Manias, and each gathering has become more fun. It's become better attended, and everyone's getting to know each other in this goofy little community of misfit toys that we've put together. So I hope to see you, if you can make it, to the Dubliner and West Portal. Again, you can just hop on a Muni train and get there. You don't have to drive. You don't have to touch a button. You don't have to, whatever. What's Muni? Is it $2.50, $3? Get yourself to the Dubliner. Come have a few drinks with like-minded people in one of the best bars in all of San Francisco. That place is perfect. So I hope we get to see you there on Sunday. Dubliner, West Portal. Again, eat your Aiyuk sandwiches, make your mama proud, make this channel proud by supporting those who support this channel, like the Dubliner, like Aiyuk's, and you can support the channel. Well, I would say without lifting your finger, but I'd like you to lift your finger and touch the like button. Lift your finger and touch the subscribe button. And if you've done both, lift your finger and touch the notify button. And whenever we go live, whenever a new video goes up, it'll be shot right to you if you hit notify. So thanks very much for your support. It has meant the world to me. The channel, it's growing, baby, and football is officially coming. And what an absolutely monster year the 49ers have set up in front of them. Training camp is opened, and the business of trying to climb to the top of the mountain officially begins. This is Kyle Shanahan's 8th season at the helm of the San Francisco 49ers. Brock's got a show us it's all real. It's a show us that none of this has been an illusion. Show us that every instinct that we think you have is true and is yours, and there isn't going to be some door slammed in the face, massive regression. This is a big confirm all suspicions year for Brock Purdy. And if he does, if he really, at the end of this year, Planet Football is in total agreement. Yeah, dude, Brock Purdy's the man. He is there. There's no Kyle's finally found a dance partner where he's not looking over the dance partner's shoulder for a better dance partner on the dance floor. Like, if Kyle really has found his answer, his solution at quarterback, it just makes the next 5-8 years. And look, you can't, that's 3 NFL lifetimes right there. So, but it would help the 49ers immensely if this guy really is the guy going forward. Oh my God. Imagine a year in, year out, devoid of quarterback controversy existence for the 49ers. What would that even look like? I mean, when's the last time the 49ers didn't have a quarterback controversy? Was it when Steve Young finally took over and was entrenched? Was it 5 minutes of Colin Kaepernick there? And then that became controversial, as we all know. Imagine the 49ers without ever-present quarterback anxiety. I don't even know if I'm ready to live in that world. Wouldn't that be extraordinary? I just want to move into that house for a little while, see how it feels. I'm like Goldilocks. I want to go sleep in that bed. This one's too hard. This one's too soft. Oh, this one is just right. Imagine if that's what we actually get. Anyways, please like and subscribe. It is a monster year. The coverage that we'll be giving you here on the Plus, I promise you, it's going to be second to none. Our post-game shows and coverage, already a thing of legend, will become even more legendary this year here on YouTube. And we're so excited to have you along. I'm so excited to see what the follow-up year for Christian McCaffrey looks like after storming over the NFL with just excellent game after outstanding performance. The secret sauce of Christian McCaffrey this year is Kyle becoming less dependent on him. Christian McCaffrey being used and effective, but not being overused. That is, one of the many needles that the 49ers will try to thread this season. Obviously, Debo and Aiyuk, it feels like they're being pitted against each other. They're being evaluated separately. Will one take the other guy's paycheck and job on this team? Will one be traded while the other remains? Look, as long as Brandon Aiyuk is reporting to training camp, I want to look at this just positively. And Debo and Aiyuk together is how I want to start thinking of them again. Like a united front. How the two of them really are complementary players. One big brawny run through you. The other total, jitterbug will run around you. These two guys really do complement each other. And I want to start thinking about them in the context of they're going to be here, they're going to be together, George Kittle and Christian McCaffrey and Juwan Jennings and maybe Ricky Pearsall if he's involved. Look at the options this offense is going to have this season. It should be a thrilling year offensively for the 49ers, and defensively, let's just start with the man right on top. Let's start with Nick Bosa, who is a fabulous player. Even in games where he doesn't jump off the screen to you, you go back through the fine tooth, you put the fine tooth comb through the film. You start looking at Pro Football Focus grades and pressures, and even though he wasn't getting sacked, like Nick Bosa rarely, if ever, has a bad game. He's always good to pretty good. He's got to get off that good to pretty good level and get back up to excellent to very scary level. When he was named Defensive Player of the Year, Nick Bosa put fear in other football teams. There wasn't a lot of fearing Nick Bosa last season. It's got to get back to that for the 49ers defensive line to work, and we will have more on the 49ers defensive line here in just a second. The guy who I think really might have the single biggest role to play on this team. We sort of expect his level of excellence game in, game out, and I feel like we've kind of begun to take Fred Warner for granted. Like Fred Warner being everywhere, being a front to back, side to side, diagonal, just everywhere defender. He is the queen on the chessboard. He can move in any direction. He is one of the most complete every blade of grass linebackers we've ever seen. I think this is the year where Fred Warner could be the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year. And if Fred Warner is the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, that means he is cleaning up everything behind a defensive line that continues to get its job done. Not on the level of last year, but on the year before last year, when the defensive line was truly among the most feared and disruptive units in football. That's what the 49ers defensive line has to become again. And Fred Warner playing behind them should just put up gaudy numbers, make huge, eye-popping, everybody at home understands it. There's no nuance required to see how important that guy is to the mix. Huge, huge year for Fred Warner. You know what I also would love to prescribe to the 49ers this season? Zero conversation about kicker Jake Moody. Because if we ain't talking about him, that means he's doing his job. Kickers are like home plate umpires. You're only talking about them when they're screwing up afternoons. So it would be great if this were a year where, it just all the lights came on for Jake Moody. He had a good rookie season in spite of what some very angry, upset with him 49er fans will say. Does it suck that he missed a couple field goals at the end of games? Sure it does. Does it totally suck that he missed a point after touchdown in a Super Bowl that went to overtime? Yeah, that really sucks, especially for someone who didn't miss a point after touchdown, but for one all regular season. I think he led the NFL in that department. If we're not talking about the sophomore season kicker, guess who's having a good season? Jake Moody. And that would be really nice. And when it comes to doing, the special teams conversation, what a big year. Kick return, kickoff coverage. Start fast. Don't let the new wrinkle of this new hybrid kickoff be the difference maker to close the gap between how good the 49ers are and how close their competition can get to them. If the 49ers are at the top of the figuring out the new kickoff rule, God, this season gets so much easier and smoother for them. It really, really will. If they're not constantly watching all this hidden yardage and all of this, all of the, why is this team close? The 49ers are kind of kicking their ass, but 3 different times today, the opponent has started somewhere around midfield. You give, Aaron Rodgers had 3 short fields on Monday Night Football because the Jets figured out this new special teams wrinkle before the 49ers did. Like, that can't happen. That can't happen. Every team in football is going to be really concerned about the new hybrid kickoff rule. Every team in football. There's something brand new out there. Some teams will embrace it and really do well with it. Others are going to be bringing up the rear and will be slow to figure it out. And they're going to lose games because of it. NFL.com was talking about the 49ers' biggest concern. So if I were doing the list, my biggest concern is hasn't won a Super Bowl. That's it. There's nothing left to do. You're going to get granular. You want to talk about this, that, what's wrong here. The only thing that's really wrong with the 49ers is they haven't won a Super Bowl. So what is the biggest concern about this team? winning a Super Bowl. NFL.com, Eric Edholm says it is the remade defensive line. And there's a part of me that, again, I agree with that. If this defensive line, this remade defensive line comes out, and again, Nick Bosa is dominant, and this defensive line is literally being felt by you on your couch in your living room, the 49ers could be a 13-win football team easily. Not that there are an easy 13 wins out there, but if this defensive line is cooking, the 49ers make a much better meal than when it's not cooking. That position group saw the most change and most overhaul with Eric Armstead, Chase Young, Javon Kinlaw, Cleveland Farrell, and Randy Gregory all gone from last year's team. You know, that is a lot of names, but if you really wanted to talk about who made the impact of all of those names, it was Eric Armstead often, Randy Gregory, and Cleveland Farrell a couple of games. And really, you know, we didn't get much. The Niners fans didn't get much out of Javon Kinlaw or Chase Young anywhere. So, you know, that's a lot of names that sound hard to replace. But there are a lot of names in. Leonard Floyd, Malik Collins, Jordan Elliott, Yetur Gross-Matos. They all headline this offseason. You pair them with Pro Bowler Nick Bosa. You know, Floyd is a real impact player. He's been putting pressure on quarterbacks for years now. I like this defensive line. We'll find out whether or not you love it on a football field when the bullets start flying. But I think that the hand-wringing over the anxiety that you should have over this defensive line is a bit exaggerated. I think it's going to be a good unit. I think Chris Kasurik is going to bring out the best in these guys. All Chris Kasurik seems to do is bring out the best season in just about everyone. So you got the best defensive line coach, I think, in football. Brandon Staley, again, he's in the room with new defensive coordinator Nick Sorensen. There are a lot of smart, experienced, bright minds to figure this out. And I think you got talent. Talent that is now going to be in a better situation than it used to be in, Nick Bosa included. I think some new faces and names and efforts around Nick Bosa are going to unlock Nick Bosa more than it's up to Nick Bosa to be the guy that unlocks the rest of the defensive line. Seriously, I'm fired up, man.
Maximum!
Yes. Every team in the NFL will be on the field on Wednesday. Again, one of the things I was thinking about was NFL practices always come with injuries. If there is a big wide receiver injury in another market, on another practice field, maybe that helps the Brandon Aiyuk negotiation. Either bringing him to the table, wanting to trade, another team getting desperate, putting more into a trade than they originally planned to because now they need Brandon Aiyuk, not just want Brandon Aiyuk. Maybe that happens. But again, the big news today that Brandon Aiyuk is in camp, it is welcome news. That is good news. Might not represent progress on a deal being done, but him being there, you can't interpret it any other way than that's good. It's good. I'm glad that he's there. I really, really am. There's little headaches popping up all over, NFL training camps now that they're open. Hassan Reddick is holding out of Jets camp. He doesn't want his already agreed to $14.5 million option. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? He's got a final year of his deal, $14.5 million. He wants more, and there's a reason why he wants more. He's got 50.5 sacks, 50.5 sacks over his last 4 seasons. That's the 4th most in the NFL. In 2022, he signed a 3-year, $45 million contract. He has outperformed that in his own mind. And, his $15 million that he's making puts him about 20th among edge players. So, he wants more. The Jets lost a big part of their defensive line, replaced that big loss with Hassan Reddick. And I'm telling you right now, man, fade the Jets. The Jets got, they're the Jets. the Jets are going to be the Jets. They're going to have a halfway decent defense. And Aaron Rodgers I think this is the year he gets old. I really think this is the year where Aaron Rodgers wears out his welcome, not in conversation, but maybe even on a football field. I ain't betting on him, that's for sure. Got Jordan Love with a hold in Green Bay. Tua's holding out in Miami. CD Lamb holding out in Dallas. These are big names, big pieces, so we'll see what happens. You know, deadlines do make deals happen, so we'll see if the deadline of, hey, camp is open, makes these deals happen. Trent Baalke. Yeah, football guy. Trent Baalke with a big move, extending Jaguars cornerback Tyson Campbell. It is a 4-year, $76.5 million deal for the young corner who was good but was hurt last year. He is now one of the best paid corners in the entire NFL. And as a matter of fact, he has the largest contract in the history of cornerback play without a Pro Bowl appearance. I saw that little wrinkle offered today. I thought, okay, that's interesting. But Trent Baalke has spent a lot of money betting on his already in-house young talent. Trevor Lawrence got a deal. Jared Allen, or is it Hines Allen now? He tweaked his last name. He hyphenated it. Allen's Hine or Hines Allen, I forget. But he got a big offseason extension. So the Jaguars are trying to identify and keep all their core players around. Trent Baalke, it's a football guy, goes about doing it like that. It's a football guy move. I would have given him $80 million if he only had one ACL. Also from teams reporting some things we've seen around the league. Joe Burrow has dyed his hair blonde and has cut it close. He looks like Munchie. He's got the blonde hair now. It kind of looks like Eminem, to be honest with you. So Joe Burrow sporting the new hairdo. Jacoby Brissett apparently has a really big leg up over Drake May after just one day of training camp in New England. So Jacoby Brissett might keep Drake May on the sideline for a little while. This is going to be a very interesting year for young quarterbacks, rookie quarterbacks. Obviously, Caleb Williams in Chicago, Jaden Daniels in Washington, J.J. McCarthy is in Minnesota, Bo Nix now in Denver. And it's funny, the one guy who's probably most ready to play and have a big impact his rookie year will be the one rookie quarterback that'll play the least because he's sitting behind Kirk Cousins. Michael Penix Jr. with the Atlanta Falcons has got a hold the clipboard year waiting for him. Russell Wilson, Justin Fields will be battling it out in Pittsburgh, or maybe not. Maybe just Wilson, excuse me, wraps his arm around that job and never lets Wilson within a country mile of it. Or maybe Russell Wilson is playing himself off the field early on with Mike Tomlin, and Tomlin gets curious about what Justin Fields can do differently. It feels like it has been an unsettled quarterback situation since Ben Roethlisberger exited stage left in Pittsburgh. Here's what we know for sure. Like, you can write this down. You can underline it because it's a fact. This isn't an opinion. The Hall of Fame game is Bears and Texans from the Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio, and it is Thursday, August 1st. Thursday, August 1st, we get our very first NFL preseason game. Roster cutdown day, August 27th. So huge month of August, big decisions, careers will be made, other careers will be dashed, guys will be taken off the pile, they'll be thrown back onto the pile. It is it's a big time of year for football, man. I love it. College football is going to be starting soon enough too. Let's go. I'm going to hit the button again. Yeah. So ready. Oh, so ready. So ready for football. So tomorrow's show will not be coming to you live at 11 a.m. As a matter of fact, the practice session, I think starts at 10:30, which means Kruger and I will probably have to postpone Wake Up in the name of getting down to Santa Clara, but we will be filming. We will be shooting video. We will be having conversations and interviews down in Santa Clara, and we'll be bringing that all to you throughout the coming days and weeks of training camp. Let's see. What else have we got going on? Told you I'd never waste your time. I'd never drag you through a show that you didn't need. If you're in the Bay Area, what else do you need? We got training camp open. We got Brandon Aiyuk reporting in a year where the 49ers have an expectation to be the best team in the NFC and go back to the fucking Super Bowl. Let's go, baby. Meanwhile, Dodgers beat the Giants last night in the series opener down in Los Angeles. Teoscar Hernandez went one-man army, 3 hits, 3 RBI in a 3-2 Los Angeles win. Jordan Hicks, he takes the ball tonight. He is 0-5 in his last 9 starts thanks to lousy run support. So it's up to the Giants to do more than support him in a lousy fashion. And Tyler Fitzgerald, stay hot. He's the first Giants player to homer in 4 straight games since Brandon Belt did that back in 2018. I mean, Tyler Fitzgerald, the only thing I can tell you about him is he needs to be a starting, getting 400 at-bats level player the rest of the way. It feels like that's a player that the Giants go out of their way to not put in lineups. Get that guy in there. Play him. LA joined the 60-win club last night. The Phillies are pacing every team in baseball with 63 wins, but now the Dodgers are the second National League team to 60 wins. I think the Yankees and the Orioles are already at 60 wins over in the American League. There might be another American League team in there, but you know, the cream of the crop is separating itself from the also-rans. And I'm telling you right now, the Giants are an also-ran. Don't let the fact that Robbie Ray is going to be making his season debut coming off of Tommy John. He hasn't pitched since March of 23. You know, okay, that would be exciting if you didn't have, you know, a team full of guys who should be hitting, you know, 6, 7, 8 in any lineup. You got him hitting 2, 3, 4 in your lineup. Trade the older guys, let the youth movement be served, play for a season that isn't designed to be a going nowhere fast season. That's what this season is. The Giants are officially going nowhere fast. Start looking a couple of moves down the chessboard, Farhan. Quit with this, I got to desperately get into the playoffs this year to save my job. What the Giants really need to do is get Farhan out of the building and get some new eyes on this situation. He's done as much as he's capable of, obviously. I'm excited about the fact we got the Olympics starting on Friday. We're 3 days away from the opening ceremonies of the Paris Olympics. Have you seen that volleyball court, by the way? They put the volleyball court, the sand beach volleyball court, right in front of the Eiffel Tower. It's one of the coolest Olympic venues and backdrops you'll ever see. It. The thing looks like it's CGI. It looks incredible. You know, we obviously watched LeBron just save Team USA's bacon. It's sad that Team USA has to turn to 62-year-old LeBron James and say, you know what? You gotta lead the way, Grandpa. We still need you to get anything done. LeBron was incredible in an Olympic preseason tune-up against Germany. He's stunningly good at this age still. Apparently, a Serbian coach named Svetislav Pesic was talking about this United States Olympic team, and he said that this year's Team USA is better than the Dream Team. That got back to Chris Mullin. Chris Mullin heard that, and he says, quote, he needs to wake up. Maybe jump in the Serbian Sea or something to wake his ass up a little bit. That's the best pre-Olympic quote. Saw Mark Medina come up with that one. I love that. I love it. You know, look, there is a different skill set on this year's Team USA where if this, there's no debating this, that there was more talent, I believe, just pure basketball talent on the Dream Team than on this team. But this team has more three-point shooting talent. Probably man-to-man has better athleticism. And essentially, I mean, they better athletes, they shoot the three more. But the original Dream Team, I still think could lock these guys up. I don't know. There's obviously body types out there that the Dream Team never even thought of seeing. Like the Dream Team played against a lot of people. They never saw anybody like Kevin Durant. And will we even see Kevin Durant in this Olympics? There's talk that Steve Kerr, doesn't want to send him home or anything like that. But he has got like a bulky knee, ankle, something. I don't know. Kevin Durant still hasn't played in these Olympic tune-ups, and whether or not he's going to be available is a little bit of a question mark. Steve Kerr's being asked about it. All right, look, you shouldn't need Kevin Durant, but it is like Kevin Durant was born to play international basketball. The guy's just if you need somebody to just get jump shots off over everyone, who's better to do that than Kevin Durant? But I'm looking forward to the U.S. Olympics. We'll end with a little bit of a countdown. 3 days away from the start of the Summer Olympics. 11 days away from Jack's 5th birthday. It's a very, very big afternoon in our house. We're planning for it. My wife has gathered an insane amount of things to put in gift bags. I think I talked about this with Kruger when he was in studio with me last week. There is no element of childhood birthday parties that has changed more dramatically than the expectation of a gift bag, which would, rival a shopping spree at an old Toys R Us. I mean, you wouldn't believe. It's one thing, to think like, okay, here's a piece of candy and maybe a janky little plastic toy. No. You need multiple plastic janky toys and multiple snacks in any gift bag these days. Freaking kids are spoiled, man. We have like 5 cardboard boxes stacked in a pyramid full of stuff that will just go in freaking gift bags. 3 days from the Olympics, 11 days from Jack's 5th birthday, 18 days away from the Niners' first preseason game against the Tennessee Titans, 30 days away from Ozzie turning 3, pray for us all, and we are 48 days away from Week 1 New York Jets, San Francisco 49ers, dun 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 dun, Monday Night Football, bum bum bum. Let's go. I like that. I like that an awful lot. We are going to have Club Plus. If you are listening on the podcast, we're about to say goodbye. We'll keep going in Club Plus on YouTube. So there's another reason for you to be liked, subscribing, and notifying and paying attention to YouTube. But if you're just listening on the podcast, thank you so much. We are available anywhere you get your podcast. You can download it. You can podcast this right on YouTube itself. You can put it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. That's where Damon Bruce Plus is waiting for you. We've been wrapping up shows with a little bit of this day in movie history. We got a couple big ones today. Big ones in the developmental libido of one young Damon Bruce. 42 years ago today, July 23rd, 1982, 2 movies to titillate a young Damon when they finally made it to HBO were released today theatrically. 42 years ago today, Burt Reynolds at his peak and Dolly Parton at the peak of her movie run. It was 9 to 5. And then this movie, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Now, The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas had a spicier name than it did anything else, but it was a movie full of deep cleavage and boudoir shots. So, I enjoyed it when I was a little kid. Then also 42 years ago today, and by the time it hit HBO in heavy rotation, by the time I was 12 and 13, this was one of the first movies that ever I routinely went out of my way to watch because it featured bare breasts, which, again, are very easy to find now. This is pre-internet. Where do you find your bare breasts? Well, in the movie Zapped, starring Scott Baio, which was in a heavy rotation on HBO. So happy 42nd birthdays to the best little whorehouse in Texas and Zapped and all the deep cleavage and bare breasts that both movies gave a young, libido, developing, heterosexual little Damon Bruce. Thank you very much to Best Little Whorehouse in Texas and Zapped. And thanks to all of you for being here. Again, like, subscribe. If you're in the chat, maybe drop a super chat. But again, liking and subscribing are free to you and easy to do. Hit that notify button. You're especially going to want to hit that notify button so you don't miss a thing come football season, because we go live at the 2-minute warning with America's most aggressive post-game show. We don't even wait for the show to end. Or the game to end. I wonder if we'll actually keep on doing that, though, this year. We'll figure it out. We'll have it all in place by the time we get to Monday Night Football against the New York Jets. In the meantime, get yourself to Aiyuk's for a sandwich. They are delicious, as are the burgers available in the Mission Rock location. Don't be afraid of trying an Aiyuk's burger there. And I hope to see you this coming Sunday at the Dubliner and West Portal for Plus Mania 4, the musical. In the meantime, stick around right here for a little Club Plus. But for those of you just listening, I thank you so very much. And please do remember that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. Squeaky disco ball, sexy lighting, boom. It's been a while. Been a while since we hung out here in the club together. There you go. Kikoa Ace, football can't come soon enough. I hear you, man. I hear you. I cannot wait. SF Indigo, Baron Red, my man, coming in, RSVPing for Plus Mania. We will see you there. See you there. Hey, Damon, just carpool with Larry down there. No, we don't want to go ahead. We don't want to get in any accidents filming carpooling. We'll wait till we film stuff till we get to Santa Clara. But no, I'm not carpooling with Larry. He lives on the other side of the bay than I live on, so that's not convenient for anybody. Let's see. It ain't about practice. It's about the game. That's true. That's why I don't cover practice. Damon, do you love going down to training camp? No, I kind of do it because I'm obliged to, and credibility towards me actually seeing the team I'm talking to you about. But it's just I'm here for the games, baby. That's what matters. Kikoa Ace again says, tried the Damon Bruce Aiyuk sandwich. It is now one of my top sandwiches. Yeah, baby. I love it. I love it. I'm glad you like it. Thank you for eating me. Skills report wants everyone to know that young Sheldon's mom is hot. Okay. I don't have I have no knowledge of young Sheldon. I don't know how young he or she is. Sheldon, that's a boy's name, right? Young Sheldon. Logan wants us to know, by the way, Aiyuk is at training camp. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Otis, you know it. He goes, man, come on now. Football's king. That NCAA football game is in high demand right now. I can't wait to see what the numbers are when it officially comes out. Like, how much money did they make? How many billions of dollars did EA print for itself with this game coming back? It is a monster. I've been playing it. It's an awesome game. It really is great. Ted just coming on out saying PS5 is life. Look at it this way. It's preventing me from living aspects of my life because my answer is no, I really don't want to go do that. I would just like to stay at home and play PlayStation. That's really what I want to do these days. Again, I love the kids, love my wife. I'm sure we got friends to go out to dinner with. I would kind of like everyone to leave me alone so I can just play college football 25. The Hoosiers look pretty good. Damon, just so you know, the 43 Masonic goes to the Dubliner. The Dubliner in West Portal has the Muni. You got Muni right there. How far is the Dubliner from BART? Dude, just get off on the, any of the BART stations as soon as you get to San Francisco. Go up a level, get on Muni, and what is that? The J? What do you got to catch to get out there? Was it the M, the N? I don't know. West Portal's close enough to me where we just walk or drive. But Muni pulls up right outside the Dubliner. Okay. Chef A's in here, wishing everybody good morning, good afternoon, good day. The skills report's got some gardeners going on. Oh, look, I'm so sorry there are gardens being tended to. That's a first world problem right there. But thanks for wanting to hear me in perfect, clear, crystal everything. Fred Warner, fire emoji. Yeah, he's got to be fire emoji, Leslie, all season long. The man is just a stud. And I think it's time. It's time for him to seriously get thrown into the Defensive Player of the Year conversation with a monster year. Our good friend James Jones, who we got to know quite well last year, says, makes me feel like a deal is coming soon. When was the last time we saw a player demand a trade, then report to camp on day one, even if he doesn't practice and just does side drills? This is huge. Again, I would agree. It can't be bad. The only thing I know is it can't be bad. It doesn't mean that there's a deal about to be struck. It doesn't mean that everybody's about to go straight up kumbaya or anything like that. But Brandon Aiyuk being in the room cannot be interpreted as this is bad for the year. No chance. By the way, again, we got to know James last year because his dad passed away and he shared that with us. It happened during the playoff run. Praying for the football gods for a healthy camp and a preseason. Let's get ready, hanging in there, looking for a new job like crazy. Good luck, brother. Good luck, my man. Look at Ike. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to Ike's and get cheeseburgers. Freaking delicious. And again, look at the support. My man Otis saying congrats on the new location. Plan to drop by there sometime soon. Again, when you do, get the burger. Oh my God, they're so good. So the show won't be on Wednesday. No, Stacy Leo, it is Humo Day tomorrow, and that's when training camp practice opens again. I'm going down for a day of training camp. It's like plausible deniability. I'm just there so I can say I was there. Now, we'll get some good stuff for you. We will mine something out of training camp that I promise you will be worth your while. Again, some people out there are just trying to waste your time. I will never be one of them. Damon, konnichiwa, Joe G. Always great to have you. Thank you so very, very much. Just Googled Joe Burrow's picture, Smiley Dan. Hopefully keeping us all safe on Sunday at the Dubliner. Is this guy sponsored by Billabong now? Seriously. Joe Burrow looks like the kind of guy who sells bad weed. Like, this is not a good look for him. Looks like a blonde Eminem, Pete Davidson, lousy weed dealer ripoff. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. You know what? Maybe Joe Burrow, love that spelling, is inspired by the Targaryen House of Dragon look. Yeah, maybe. Maybe. You see they're picking, dragons are now picking their riders. No spoilers. No spoilers. I said it early on in this season. I'm going to say it again. House of Dragons needs more dragons in it. And we're finally getting some. So that's good. I need Damon's acid trip at Harrenhal to come to an end and have him get back in the story a little bit here. What the fuck's going on over there? Again, Game of Thrones was awesome. House of Dragons is on my TV on Sunday nights. I don't know how I really feel about it. Oh, there's just throwing it out there as the Giants are continuing to lose all these one-run games in a row. They're really close to the Dodgers. They only lost 3-2. No, don't let that score fool you. They are nowhere in the neighborhood of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I don't want to get into politics, but Boomer T says the Dems have been disenfranchised, a large fraction of their voter base. I thought they believed in democracy. Yeah, and what Joe Biden believes in it so much, he decided to drop out in an election he probably would have won anyways, and now Kamala is about to wipe the fucking floor with the entrails of the MAGA movement. This is the year Donald Trump goes away forever. This is the year where MAGA gets its legs cut out from underneath it, and I can't wait for you fucking people to exit the conversation. You're about to get clobbered. Trust me. Sky Collins is ready for some rhythmic gymnastics. Guess what? They've got the ultimate rhythm gymnastics coming. We're going to get breakdancing. Breakdancing is an Olympic sport in Paris. It's going to be good times. Bring your cardboard. Imagine that. Like you just had to show up with cardboard. And now you can breakdance. Craig saying, who can remember? Craig's Kitchen. Who remembers a Toys R Us shopping spree? Isn't that great? And I loved Toys R Us, man. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. Something that I can play with. From bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. I don't want to grow up, but baby, if I did, I'd want to be a Toys R Us kid. For those of you who are too young, Toys R Us used to be toy stores the size of Walmarts. Walking in there you'd get a kid boner. Like you'd be like, oh my God. It's the best. Stacy Leo knows all about the best little whorehouse in Texas and Zapped. She just wrote Bodacious Tatas. Everyone likes Bodacious Tatas. Heather Thomas, pre-Fall Guy. Ski School. Yeah, absolutely. Ski School, Niners Worldwide, big booby movie for me. Of course, Jamie Lee Curtis's turn in Trading Places. When she's in the mirror, Dan Aykroyd's looking at her. Those are epic developmental libido boobs. It was Jamie Gertz in Getting Out of the Pool. And no, not Jamie Gertz. Was that who Fast Times at Ridgemont High? How about this? Chef A says, I met and hung out with Burt Reynolds when I was 15. He was in my hometown doing a summer theater. He gave me a ride in his Corvette that Dinah Shore gave him. He would do that's literally how freaking Smokey and the Bandit begins. You're like Sally Fields in the Camaro, in the Trans Am. When I was a little kid, there was a candy store in Schenectady that was owned by the mother of a friend of mine. So we would pop in there, we'd get some free candy, we'd get hooked up, and then we'd go back out. And one day there was a Ferrari, like an old Ferrari Testarossa, right out of the opening credits of Magnum PI, right? And I'm like 15, 16 years old. I got a BMX bike. I'm out there. I am looking at this Ferrari. There weren't a lot of Ferraris in Schenectady, New York. So I'm just like, my jaw's on the floor looking at this thing. The guy comes out of the candy shop. He sees me looking at the car. He's like, hey, kid, you want to ride? And every single never get in a car with a stranger warning I'd ever been given went right out my brain, and I got in that car without thinking twice about it. And then when I told my mother, who was horrified, that I took a ride in a Ferrari with a total stranger, just leaving my bike on the side of a street, she's kind of horrified by the whole thing. And I just said, Mom, the guy's got a Ferrari. What the hell does he need me for? She was like, yeah, that's okay. I guess that works. Like, you don't buy a Ferrari to do anything other than try to pick up women. That's part of it. It's like a feature on the car. And then, and again, what are you going to kidnap me? Ransom me off? You got Ferrari money. You don't need me. My mom went from very mad to understood quickly. All right. Leslie wants to know, what time is Plus Mania? We're going to get going, Leslie, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. 2 o'clock this Sunday at the Dubliner in West Portal till ? Yeah, something like that. Mark, Damon with his video games, his ganja jar, yelling, Jillian, meatloaf. If I said, Jillian, where's the meatloaf? She would probably come downstairs and hit me in the head with a baking pan. But instead of having meatloaf in it, she'd just have an ass cooking in there for me. Jillian, the meatloaf. I'll try that. I'll let you know. Let you know how that goes. TH Mac or the Centerfold or Snipple Pleasures. Are these name of burgers? These are more burger. I got the Centerfold, Ike. I got the Centerfold burger. It was awesome. What else we got? Leslie, she's saying it. Yeah, 3 episodes of Damon tripping. That's about enough. I hear you. Sea Smoke. Sea Smoke is pretty cool. Stacy, I'll give you that. That's a cool looking dragon. What else? See, this is why Michelle Haberman and I are friends. I'm so excited for breakdancing Olympic game. Me too. Me too. By the way, Michelle, I hope you've seen this. They're doing Big Ten Media Day in Indianapolis, and Oregon, which is now in the Big Ten, sent a huge rubber duck that is now sitting in the river in Indianapolis, which kind of runs through the city, and there's a huge rubber Oregon duck. I'm talking like it's like the size of a house in Indianapolis. Christopher says, yeah, man, speaking of toys, I missed that FAO Schwartz in San Francisco. Good times there as a kid. Jillian was just telling me about that too. We were driving, through Union Square, and we're like, what are they going to do with this Macy's when this Macy's closes? Like, who else needs this much space? What are they going to do with it? And she's like, right here used to be the greatest FAO Schwartz. It was part of her childhood. So, Christopher, I know all about it, man. I didn't get there, but man. I would have, by the way, Phoebe Cates, thank you very much. Phoebe Cates, not Jamie Gertz. Jamie Gertz, of course, playing the I Can't Spare a Square role on the Seinfeld episode where she's warring with toilet paper in a lane. That's Jamie Gertz. Jamie Gertz also in Twister. But you're right, Phoebe Cates. Ryan Smiles says, bodacious tatas was the first phrase my uncle taught me as a 4-year-old. Boy, was mama happy. Bodacious tatas. So, okay. I think we did it. And yeah, AJ Cruz, you're right. Jamie Gertz was a smoke show too. Jamie Gertz was gorgeous. Beautiful. That's right. She was in Square Pegs along with Sarah Jessica Parker. And Drake. Wasn't Drake in Square Pegs or Degrassi Junior High or one of those kind of might be from Canada things? I don't know. Saved by the Bell was better than all that crap. And Tiffany Amber Thiessen, she had the best fastball of them all. She really did. There you go. Thank you so very much for hanging out today. It was great having you here again. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe on your way out. Thanks for all the support. And again, hope to see you at Plus Mania 4, 2 o'clock Sunday. Dubliner, West Portal, eat at Ike's. Be good to each other. Keep your eye on this channel because we'll be dropping videos from training camp on Wednesday, but we will not be having our normal 11 a.m. show this Wednesday. We're probably not going to have a wake up because I got to wake up early and get down to Santa Clara. So there you go. You're the best. Thank you so much for watching. And please do remember that you don't have to go home. No, you can hang out. You just can't stay here.